You know who Ciri is, so you know how much she means to me. Of course I want to keep her from any danger.
Then there's a few things you must remember. There will come a time when she will come to you defeated, resigned. Find a way to make her laugh. There will come a time when one will betray her. Let her vent her rage. There will come a time when she will grieve for a friend. Grieve with her. There will come a time when fear will engulf her. Instill courage in her, but do not act in her stead. And never, ever let her feel as if you've sold her out.
What now? Off to find another poor fool?
Haven't decided yet. But I do know if I ever have trouble collecting a debt, I shall turn to a witcher.
The time is close to 3 AM. A new dawn is upon us. The full moon now disappearing in the sky. Does it really disappear? Does it really, I suppose. And yeah, now it is time to make the long-awaited journey back to, Crog's Birch to pick up Uma. Uma, who is our only real line of inquiry into finding Ciri. Uma, who could well be Ciri herself in a twisted way. Certainly not something we can rule out. But it is interesting asking Gaunter O'Dim of Ciri that he was certain that we would find her. Which is, you know, you can either roll your eyes over it or you can take it seriously. And you can take it seriously on the merits that he was also very confident that we find Yennefer of Vengerberg. And so we did. So there is that angle to take. But it's also interesting what he said, exactly. Of, once we do find her, of how to treat her in certain situations. It's very cryptic, very riddle-like in its own way. Very Gaunter O'Dim, one may say. But it's interesting, not just what he chose to say, but what he didn't choose to say there. In regards to where we may end up going forward. Certainly going to be what he said there. Shall we call it a riddle? Not really a riddle, but I'm going to call it a riddle for the purposes of this. It'd be interesting to revisit what he said at a later point and try to put it into context. Because it is a very interesting comment nonetheless. He can't find her, but he can predict the future in a sense. Or at least one future that could be obtained by following a certain set of... by following some guidelines, shall we say. Are those guidelines what Geralt would do to begin with? Let's see. So, yeah, back to Crog's Birch. Master Armours collects your armour from Joanna? Yep, Joanna. And there is also the final part of the Wolf Skull Gear upgrade diagrams, part 1. Which is the final piece, which is in Velen, or anywhere but Kaer Morhen. For the most part. So it'd be a matter of grabbing Uma and heading up towards the Dragon Mountains. To Kaer Morhen, all the way up there to the northeast. Which that is going to be lovely. A long journey though. Some would say a journey worth a beard growing out over that time and hair flowing down over that time. We'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get our darling Roach. Where are you? Help you. It's now time to get to Crog's Birch. With the new day washing over us and hopefully washing off this heart of stone that we were embroiled in on our way down to Crog's Birch originally. Are we less better off than we were? before stumbling into all this. Been roped into what was... it was just a simple contract, wasn't it? To take care of a toad in the Oxenfurt sewers. Which Olgierd knew exactly what it was the entire time. You could literally come at this entire situation from that angle of a Witcher contract by which Geralt was deceived and wrapped up in this. If Olgierd had been quite forthright from the beginning, a lot of this could have been avoided. But there's a lot of what ifs, you know. Let's just try to leave it behind us and try to say that we're perhaps better off for having this digression at this early of a point. Because we are now back on the path to finding Ciri, a little bit better off on the odds of finding her and what we shall do when we do find her. And here we are, eh? Crossbirch. It just got me thinking, finding this last, well, a diagram of the wolf diagram here. Last diagram of the wolf diagram. It works.
Come on now.
What was that?
Let's go.
Well, we'll be going to Kaer Morhen. And getting the wolf gear. Crafting the wolf gear. It could be said that wearing this bear armor, well, it's going to be quite short-lived. I'm going to be putting it on just as soon as, well, taking it off. No, other way around. Other way around, Bonner. What are you doing? I'm going to be taking it off just as soon as I put it on. Which is a shame, but I find armor, especially in the Witcher world, to be quite symbolic of one's progression. It'll be a really kicking into the second act of this tale that Dandelion is telling us through the journal. Now, first, of course there is a matter of whether there's a smith up in Kaer Morhen, which there isn't, but surely, for role-playing purposes, Vesemir would know of the nearest armourer capable of producing Witcher material, one to think on.
Geralt, good of you to come by. What can I do for you?
I think you know what you can do for me. My armour ready yet?
My armor coming along all right?
It's ready. I've reinforced the joints and bathed it in acid, as my clan's tradition demands.
Thanks. How much do I owe you?
Oh, please. I'd not be here if it weren't for you. It's a gift, in thanks for what you did. Take it, and may it serve you well.
Thanks. And you take care.
There we go. Witch Hunter's armour. Well, it's the thought that counts, even if I never look at the armour. Huh. As with all gifts you receive that aren't Witcher gear, I suppose. So, let's do some looking around. The diagram is supposedly back here. Oh.
Might want to look around some.
Well, I wanted you to examine the mark, but it seems you're rather eager to get this wolf gear, Geralt, so I'm not going to stand in your way. Now, we are on the Crow's Perch. This is what I wondered. Does Crow's Perch have its own water supply? It kind of makes sense with it being, well, fort. Yes, it does. Could this be poisoned from the outside? So if it came under siege at any point? But really interesting. Let's do some looking around. That would have been too easy. Why do I get the impression it's possibly going to be under the water? I don't want it to be. Or does that lead outside? If it does, then the water supply could be poisoned. And this. Yes. I reckon that does lead outside, but I don't want to get too soggy. So, let's head back up, shall we? If... Oh no. Oh yes, yes, yes. I thought we're going to have no choice then but to get soggy. Okay then. Retrieve the armour. Retrieve the diagram. Now I've got to retrieve the ugliest man alive. Or is it a man? Ugliest girl alive. Uga. Who's to say at this point in time, eh? Who is to say?
I think I got scabies.
Right. Right. What's his name? He's in here, isn't he? Yeah.
You white one, look like you got soused last night too. Ploughing hangover.
And I think I'm going to find him in here.
What are you looking at?
Not you. Hello.
Need to talk to you.
About?
About? Uma. I'm here to take him away.
Uma, gonna take him with me.
Believe you meant to say you've come to ask my permission to take him. I am in charge now, so...
Not about to ask for anything. I'm telling you. You can try to stop me. But then I'll bring your enlightened reign to an end. An abrupt and premature end.
Think you got me shaking in my boots?
You sure as hell should be.
Fine. Cripple's not worth no blood. See the groom. He ought to be glad to give him up. Bugger's been eating from the feed bags. And a pleasant journey to you both.
Thank you kindly.
What a rosy goodbye. Even with a shove. Okay. Go see the broom, you say? Broom? Groom? Did he say broom? I'm assuming it's a stable. Are you the broom? Are you a broom? No, you're a person. Are you a groom? You're not gonna be... You're a stable master.
I'm taking Uma.
There ain't a...
Sergeant Hartle said I could.
Bring him back though, won't you? Be awful dull without him.
And what's the Geralt response here? Honestly, let's just, for the sake of consistency, stay on brand with what's just been said. Let's keep the attitude from Sergeant Ardle down here with the stable master. Get out of the bloody way.
No, not about to bring him back. Open the door, now. Hey, little guy. This here's Roach. She'll take us to Kaer Morhen. Well, come on.
What interesting ornaments and trinkets you're bearing. The bell I had imagined the Baron's men would have put on. And you already have a rat tied to you. You should probably wait going for the rat there. Oh, you cheeky little thing.
What the?
So you grab him.
Quit playing around. Let's go.
Who says witches can't have children, eh?
Looks like we got company. Nilfgaardian battle mounts. What do you want?
The Emperor's displeased with you.
Then he ought to ask somebody else for help.
The Emperor does not ask anyone for anything. You will ride with us to Vizima.
Sure about that?
Don't even try.
Fine. Lead the way.
Even a Witcher can be outnumbered. And well, Vizima isn't as far away as Kaer Morhen from here, so it's hardly the biggest diversion. Even if it is, well, south.
And the Third Army will sweep in from the west to take Banglin.
If I may, Your Imperial Majesty, our spies report that the garrison at Banglin consists almost wholly of mercenaries.
Bribery, then.
We stand to lose exactly no men in battle.
And we stand to lose less time. Very well. Give the orders. Then set sail.
As you wish. At once.
Your Imperial Majesty, Yennefer.
I did not have you brought here for an exchange of courtesies. Report.
I don't like the tone of either of these. Even though it's the nearby Emirates we're talking to, just go back to how Geralt would talk to Foltest. Two completely different people, of course, but, you know, Geralt still has courtesy in mind. Still uses courtesy. It isn't just completely you know, generic, I'm a badass, won't do anything you want me to do. There's still a bit of courtesy, there's etiquette involved in being a Witcher. There's a rule, there's a code of conduct. This still comes and enters into it.
As you wish, Your Majesty. Ciri. Well, this man is the key to finding her.
I give you 3 solid leads. Trails as fresh as morning dew. The aid of my spies and my court sorcerers. Yet in my daughter's stead, you bring me this monstrosity? I hope you have more to say. For your sake.
Oh, you have no idea.
Listen, I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. A needle that at any moment can...
It's a difficult task, I know this. What of it?
We had to collude with evil itself.
I rule the largest empire the world has ever known. I wage a war against the North, command men in tens of thousands, while at home the trade corporations and nobles seek to depose me. You cannot expect me to pity you the difficulty of your task.
The pragmatism in Amir is something to just be so admired, so admired. I get the point, I really do. But we literally did have to, not have to, but in fact, we were roped into a situation where we chose to collude with evil itself in order to find out more about this. Because we knew full well that we had 3 solid leads, which turned into absolutely nothing. We're just as frustrated as you are. Yet here we are now. This is where we stand. That being said, though, we know where Ciri was and what she did at these places where she were.
I pursued those leads you gave me. Ciri first reappeared in Skellige with a mage, an elf. Yen knows more.
The Wild Hunt tracked them down, found them there. They were forced to flee to Velen.
Where they were separated. Ciri spent some time with a local warlord, a self-styled baron who...
Yes, I know my vassals.
Indeed.
Who helped her get to Novigrad, where Ciri crossed some of the city's underworld bosses. She had to flee, went back to Skellige, ran into her elf companion there.
And into the Wild Hunt, again. Ciri and the elf fled, out to sea this time. Their boat returned to shore the next day, with only him on board.
The information appears of little use, though at least it seems you kept busy.
You have no idea how busy.
This monstrosity might well be your daughter. Its body is the product of a curse. Someone hides inside it.
Can you lift this curse?
I've done a great deal of research. Made inquiries, but to lift it I would need to know the words used to cast it, and that...
Vafael Elen, Kedmil Fali. Gladiv Dorn Eptened Bandro Ithne Iacus. Dandelion told me. Ciri talked to him about it.
At last, you provide a pleasant surprise. Lady Yennefer, my question stands.
Yes. I believe I can. But I must...
The details do not interest me. Geralt, you've achieved precious little, yet admittedly more than the bumblers in my spy corps have. I give you half the promised reward. You will receive the other when you bring me Ciri.
And to that... Ah, this is one of these. I can see a total non-committal answer here. That if there was one there in black and white, that is what I'd go for, and I think I'd be able to justify that. Can I find that in So Be It? So Be It doesn't have to be agreement. So Be It can be that non-committal answer. But is this going to come out as arse licking, or is the non-committal answer which I'm wanting to? Because I don't intend to bring her here is... Yeah, I get the sentiment behind it, but how is it going to be delivered? At the end of the day, it's going to be her choice anyway, whether she wants to come here. So... I don't know. Let's be non-committal, but not stirring up a fuss anyway.
Fine.
Perfect answer.
This audience is over. Till the next.
Oh, that's the most Geralt answer I've ever heard. Well, been a little while. You've been a bit quiet.
Could have used some of that famous biting wit of yours. Where'd it disappear to? I mean, you were meek as a novice at Aretusa called into the Dean's office.
I merely know when I can indulge my pride and when I must swallow it.
Ah, I see. So you show your claws to me because I'm a lowly witcher, but...
Do you really wish to do this now, Geralt? We can fight another time, in another place, where the walls have no ears.
Yeah, I get you. It's a bit hypocritical for Geralt to be asking those questions, or for me to be asking those questions when I didn't want to cause a fuss anyway, so I wanted to bite my tongue anyway. So, the curse then. You've made your inquiries. How do we lift it?
So, how do we lift Uma's curse?
We must take him to Kaer Morhen. Oh, and Geralt, forgive me, but I'm unable to teleport you, Uma, and Roach, so...
Don't worry, we'll ride there. Never did like teleporting.
Take care of yourself.
Wait. Here, probably better if you keep it.
Of course. I'm off.
A forktail? Here?
Oh there, Roach.
Vesemir, man.
Forktails this close to the fortress? Someone's been slacking off.
I'm not pointing fingers. Maybe. I love this bloody place. Simply because it's so goddamn real.
Well,
2 levels of portcullis.
been away quite a while.
Too long.
Indeed.
And your journey, how was it?
calm, if you don't count the forked tail that flew over our heads a few miles back. Passenger got a little restless.
What have we here? Multiple deformities. Eyes, ears, nostrils, a hair lip. And is this... Now, calm down. Yennefer was right on one count. Thing sure isn't pretty.
I do admire how surgically and objectively you inspected that, you know, before actually saying the thing isn't pretty. You know, that's such a witchery thing to do. Why so dirty? Don't know what this means at this point, I'm afraid to ask.
Don't look all that nice yourself. How'd you get so dirty?
Huh? Ah, this. I was mixing some lime for the mortar. Need to patch up the walls before they crumble.
Lot of work for one person. Lambert and Eskel not willing to help? Don't see the sense in it?
No. Yennefer found more important things for them to do.
So she's already here.
Yen's here already?
And how?
Huh. You two argue?
Geralt, I understand she's a... well, how do I put this? Emancipated, strong-willed woman. But do manners count for nothing? She teleports in, not even a nice to see, jumps right into a, we've a curse to lift, there's this to do and that. So Eskel and Lambert get going. Then she went to the guest room to rearrange things. Through the bed, off the balcony.
Ah, that was a bloody good bed.
Shame. That was a good bed.
Said the same myself. Solid oak frame, down mattress. Triss always said she...
Less of that, please.
Ah, now I see.
It's either that, or Yen really hates oak furniture.
Oak has its ups and downs. In this case, downs. So has Yen shed any light on what her plan is to lift this curse? Is it anything a witcher like you could relate to with your hundreds of years of life?
So what's Yen planning?
Wish I knew.
Mean she didn't tell you?
She told us what she needs to lift the curse, not what she plans to do with it, despite our asking.
Wonderful. Always has her reasons, even if they're not good ones.
She's gotta have a good reason.
More than one, most likely. In any case, she's set her mind on something. Needs us to stay out of her way, mostly.
Very well then. Where is everyone? Lambert? Eskel? Good to see you anyway.
So where is everyone?
Eskel's hunting forktails. Gotta nip that infestation in the bud. And since Yennefer needs to distill some ingredients from their organs, well, like they say, 2 birds, 1 stone. Lambert's still in the keep, preparing to venture into the mountains to enrich the phylactery with elemental power.
And Yen?
Assembling a megascope. Wanted my help running around with some chirping contraption, searching for something. But I'm too old for that nonsense.
I should let her know I'm here.
If you say so, but don't go thinking she'll throw her arms around your neck.
Ugh. Look at it. Just look at it. Really look at it. The gathering of cloud just there in the valley. Is that a valley? There's probably a definition of what a valley is, or... Anyway, but look all the way down there. What direction even is that? South? From where we are? Is that the Dragon Mountains from there, or is it over there? We're due west of here. Or east, rather. Yeah? Over that way. Huh. That's quite something. What I do really admire about this place is this is actually a real castle, a real fortification. 2 portcullises, and even inside the castle itself, inside the grounds, the traffic, the foot traffic potentially, say if this place came under siege, is channeled by design. So you've got the 2 portcullises, comes into this courtyard, whereas if you want to proceed into the next courtyard, you've got to come up the way, come round, you just put into a kill zone, down a corridor endlessly to another set of doors, a portcullis here. And then you channeled further still up this way. Funneled down here, over another set of stairs to there. Oh, you can really get into the heart of the place. It's just an absolutely immense design from a time long past that, you know what, speaks to the witches here which occupy it more than words can. Ah, home sweet home. How would this place feel to Geralt and to Lambert and to Eskel? Being over remembering anything mention of anything like that in the books. Although, funny thought, Vesemir is probably more developed in the games than he is in the books. And that is like the most backwards thing ever, what happens in mediums, when something comes from a book and is converted either into a movie, a TV show, or a game. What is this?
Leaking again, damn it.
I'll speak to you later, Lambert. Good to see you, though. But yeah, from all my memory, all Vesemir does in the books is appear one day, get a little bit handsy with Triss that would not go down well, and that's about it. Whereas here, Vesemir has a lot more to offer. Well, where's the stairwell? Geralt, you'll know. Here? Hoping so. Is this even the right tower? It's a tower. You'd think, if Yennefer is currently in the room which was occupied by Geralt and Triss at one point in time, you would think that you'd head straight to it. Here, stairwell here. Here we go. Right. Now she's gonna be frosty. Of course she is.
God damn it, you piece of shit!
Uh-oh.
And Geralt walked down the stairs, and that was the end of it. Alas, it's not to be.
Damned crystal!
You decide to blow us up?
Geralt, I'm sorry, but I'm in no mood for jests.
What's eating you?
Let me think. That was the third crystal to explode. It's been a week, and Lambert's still not done what I've asked. Vesemir spitefully insists on repairing the wall just beneath my window and starts hammering at the crack of dawn, while Eskel seems to have gone mushroom picking, not forktail hunting.
The guys. Well, they're not exactly happy with you.
Why is that?
Because you aren't willing to say what you're planning. You're treating them like pages, not including them. Us, actually, because I feel that way too.
I shall explain everything when the time is right. First, we must finish our preparations.
Let's probe the explanation some more.
You got trust issues with us?
No. Actually, I fear you don't trust me. So I'd rather keep certain things secret, for the time being.
Pretty tortured logic.
It may seem that way now, but you'll understand in time.
Well, curiosity killed the wolf and all that. I heard what you did with the bed.
Heard about the bed. Really prefer to sleep on the floor? Wouldn't recommend it. That stone can get awfully chilly.
Frankly, I prefer a chill to bedding littered with red hair.
So upset about Triss you gotta take it out on the furniture?
Would you prefer I take it out some other way? Geralt, I don't want to seem like a vindictive shrew, but that very bed is where you just happened to fuck a dear friend of mine. Yes, I know. You'd lost your memory. Whatever. Let us agree that I will refrain from scolding you, while you will stop mentioning that stupid bed. Agreed?
Agreed.
Splendid. On to more pressing matters.
What do you want me to do?
Fine. What do I do?
Firstly, help Eskel and Lambert. One was supposed to get me forktail spinal fluid, the other was to fortify the phylactery with elemental power. I've yet to see anything from either of them.
All right, I'll talk to them. Anything else?
Yes. There's one other trifling matter. As you saw, my megascope's acting up, in rather spectacular fashion. I'm certain there's an energy source nearby, generating disturbances, making the crystals malfunction. We must find it and neutralize it. Quickly, I must contact someone. It's urgent.
Is who you gonna contact part of something which you're going to explain later as well?
Who you plan to contact? Or is that a secret too?
No secret at all. Ida Emian. Remember her?
How could I forget? Member of the Lodge, Elven Sage.
Exactly, a sage. As the name suggests, she should know a great deal. I'd like to ask her for advice about Uma. Satisfied?
Completely.
Your sorceress friends, the sage and not-so-sage, they've let me down before. But if we gotta, we gotta.
If only you'd been this cautious with all of them. But no matter. Thank you for your permission.
All right. How do I find the source?
Use this Potestaquizitor.
Potesta...
Potestaquizitor? Sounds fancy. Complicated.
Yet it's ever so simple. Grasp it firmly, move it around, and the louder it squeals, the closer you are.
And here I was thinking we just got rid of the bed.
Spare me your juvenile wit, please. Well, what are you waiting for? Ah, one more thing. Thank you, Geralt.
Well. Plenty to do. In a place like Kaer Morhen. It's almost like time stands still.